الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. We are still studying this chapter of inheritance, and we are studying the inheritance of the siblings with the paternal grandfather. And we said that there are two opinions among the scholars. There is the opinion of Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Ahmed. And this is also the opinion of Zayd ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu and other companions, that the siblings, they inherit with the paternal grandfather. And there is another opinion, which is the opinion of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, and Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, and about 16 more companions of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is also the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and the opinion of Sheikh Ibn Baz, Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen, Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan, and other scholars from the senior scholars of today, that the grandfather, he blocks the sibling, the paternal grandfather. But if we go with the opinion of the majority, then we're going to study some of the scenarios where that the inheritance between the grandfather, the paternal grandfather, and the siblings. طيب. The Shaykh said, according to this opinion, there are three cases of the siblings existing with the paternal grandfather. They may be full siblings. Full siblings are, what are full siblings?
From the same father and same mother.
Yes, very good. And they may be paternal half siblings. Paternal half siblings, meaning that they are from the father's side only. The father's side only. They may include both types, full siblings and paternal half siblings. So let's say there were four. Two of them, they're full brothers, and the other two, they're paternal brothers. طيب. The Shaykh said, in this respect, if the siblings with the paternal grandfather are either full or paternal half-sibling, the grandfather has two cases with them. So these we have to remember. So he has two cases with them. طيب. The first case, when there is no other heir. There is no other heir by virtue prescribed share. In such a case, there are three cases for the paternal grandfather as follows. So now basically what he's telling you if there are no heirs that inherit by way of a share, like who? A daughter, like the wife, the husband. These are all those that inherit by way of a share. طيب. The Shaykh said, so there are three cases, if this is the case. When al-muqasama meaning that they split. That is called al-muqasama. Entitles the paternal grandfather to get more than 1/3 of the estate. Because remember, the paternal grandfather, he always looks at what is more favorable to him. Splitting or getting 1/3. So if splitting is good for him, then he goes for it. Like for example, if there is a grandfather, a paternal grandfather, and a sister of the deceased. So which one is better for him now? is to get double share because he's a male. The male gets double share of the female, or gets 1/3. Which one is better for him? Double share. Very good. طيب. The Sheikh, he said, the criterion of this case is that the sibling share is less than double of the paternal grandfather's share. For example, their share can be equal to 1.5 of the paternal grandfather's share, or less than that. This case involves 5 forms. The first one, the deceased paternal grandfather and one sister of the deceased. Okay? So the man, he dies, he did not leave any descendants. He did not leave any descendants. So he doesn't have a son, he doesn't have a daughter. طيب? So there is nobody there, there is no wife either. There is no wife either. Because if the wife was there, she goes first. She takes how much? 1/4. She takes 1/4. طيب. But since the paternal grandfather is the only one with the sister, طيب. So in this case, the paternal grandfather gets 2/3 of the estate. Right or wrong? He gets 2/3 because he gets double. He gets double of what the aunt will get. For example, if there is $150,000, how much would he get? Well, how much would he get if there is $150,000? Remember, he gets double. He gets double of the female. The female gets 1 share. How much does he get? It's very simple. 150,000. Yes, he gets 100,000. Yeah, it's very simple. So 150, he gets 100,000, she gets 50,000. Is that clear? So we go one at a time. طيب, this is the first case. Second case, the paternal grandfather and one brother. In this case, the grandfather then gets 1/2 of the estate. So they split equally. طيب. So now in the case of the female, he gets double. In the case of the male, he gets half if there's only one male with him. طيب. So this is done, right? We understand this, right? Okay, طيب. The third one, the paternal grandfather and 2 sisters. 2 sisters. In this case, he gets half the estate. He gets half of the estate. He gets half of the estate, similar to the second form. Which is the second form?
Sibling and the father.
Yeah, one brother and the paternal grandfather. That's the second case. طيب. Which is more than 1/3. Which is more than 1/3, because 1/3 will be less than half. Will be less than half. So here in this, half is more favorable for him than getting 1/3. So the less the heirs are, the better he's going to be. You get it? The less, the better. طيب. The fourth case, the paternal grandfather and 3 sisters. He gets 2/5, which are more than 1/3. So he still gets more. So now remember, when there is only one sister. 2 sisters, 3 sisters, he gets,
1/5.
he gets more. He gets more. But if there are 4 sisters, he doesn't get the same.
Gets 2/5.
Yes. If there are 3, yes. There's 1, 2, and 3 is good. But there's more, 4 sisters is different. Okay, طيب. The 5th case, the paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 1 sister. 1 brother and 1 sister. So there is an uncle and aunts. There's an uncle and aunts. In this case, the grandfather gets 2/5, just like the 4th case, because it's less. Is that understood, Ikhwan? Or shall I repeat it again?
May I repeat what you just said?
Okay. The 4th, I'm going to repeat the 4th case and the 5th case. Okay, the 4th case, the paternal grandfather and 3 sisters.
He gets 2/5.
In this case, he gets 2/5. Now, he gets 2/5, which are more than 1/3. So this is better for him, right? Okay, the 5th case, the paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 1 sister. In this case, the grandfather gets 2/5, just like the 4th case. Is that clear?
It's clear.
طيب. B. Now we go into another scenario. B. When the paternal grandfather gets 1/3 of the estate, whether through muqasama when they split or not. The criteria for this case is that the sibling share is double the grandfather's share. You get it? So when their share is less, he gets what? More. When their share is more, he gets less. Remember this. This is the guideline. It's very simple. When their share is less than him, then he gets more. When their share is more than him, he gets 1/3. Remember this.
Is there any example for that one?
Like a daughter.
Yeah, like for example, him and 1 sibling. Him and 1 sibling. Right? So he gets half. He gets half.
It's favorable for him.
Yes, favorable for him. Why would he go for 1/3?
But if there's a daughter of the deceased,
Yes.
he's going to get equal or less.
If there is a daughter, he gets like, okay, just him and the daughter, she gets half, he gets half. Because the daughter gets half, if she doesn't have
Brother.
a brother with her. So if the grandpa is there, and then the daughter gets her share, half, and the grandpa gets the rest, the other half. طيب? Okay. So when the paternal, I'm going to repeat again, when the paternal grandfather gets 1/3 of the estate, whether through muqasama, which is splitting, or not, it doesn't matter. The criteria for this case, this is the guideline. So once you remember the guideline, this matter will be very clear to you. طيب? That the sibling share is double the paternal grandfather's share. You get it? So when there are more siblings and their share is more, then it is better for him to go with 1/3. Is that clear? طيب. This case involves 3 forms. The deceased paternal grandfather and 2 brothers. The deceased paternal grandfather and 2 brothers. The paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 2 sisters. The paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 2 sisters. The third, the paternal grandfather and 4 sisters. I repeat again. The first case, the deceased paternal grandfather and 2 brothers. So he left 2 brothers and he left a father. Second, the paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 2 sisters. 1 brother and 2 sisters. The third, the paternal grandfather and 4 sisters. In this form, the paternal grandfather gets 1/3 of the estate, whether through al-muqasama division or not. With regard to this issue, there is disagreement among the scholars whether the paternal grandfather is to receive his share, which is 1/3, through muqasama division, to be gained the option to receive it through either of the 2 ways. Some scholars give preponderance to the opinion that the paternal grandfather is to receive 1/3 of the estate as prescribed share. Because the prescribed share, the grandfather, he gets 1/3. That's his prescribed share, right or wrong. If there are kids, he gets 1/6. طيب. Rather than al-muqasama, which is division. It's because considering the prescribed share, whenever possible, is worthier. Is worthier. For the prescribed share has more consideration. Moreover, those entitled to prescribed shares are given preponderance to the agnate relatives. So they're given they are given preference over the agnate. The agnates are like uncles and aunts. These are called agnates because they don't have a specific share in the Quran, while the grandfather, he has a specific share. You get it? And his specific share is what? 1/3? No, 1/3 if 1/3 he gets 1/3 when? When does he get 1/3?
There are no descendants.
There are no descendants. And if they are descended, he gets
Half of that.
1/6. He gets 1/6. So that's why he's given more preference than anyone else. He's given more preference. طيب. When 1/3 of the estate yields more than the share that the paternal grandfather will get through the muqasama, which is the division, like if they were to divide with him, he will get less, then in that case he goes with 1/3. 1/3 will be more preferable to him. In this case, the paternal grandfather gets 1/3 of the estate as a prescribed share. As a prescribed share, because that's his prescribed share in the Quran. This is when the siblings' share is more than double his share. So when they double his share, then he gets 1/3. If they are less than that, then he gets more. Either he's going to get half or he's going to get 2/5. Right? Either he's going to get half or he's going to get 2/5. In case their share is less. So if their share is less, it is more favorable for him. طيب. If it is more, then in that case he goes with his prescribed share, which was 1/3. This is when the sibling share is more than double his share. However, there are no limited form for such a case, unlike the 2 previous cases. The least number in such a case is the existence of the deceased paternal grandfather and 2 brothers and 1 sister. And 2 brothers and 1 sister. So whose share now will be more if there are 2 brothers and 1 sister? Is it the paternal grandfather or the 2 brothers and sisters? Which is more? Them. It's more. So in this case he gets 1/3. 1/3. Or the paternal grandfather and 5 sisters. Of course, their share will be more. Or the paternal grandfather and 1 brother and 3 sisters and upward.
So in all these cases where his share would would be less. He's going to get 1/3.
He's going to get 1/3. He's going to get his prescribed share. Because if he divides it with them, he's going to get less. So why should you get less? Yes. The second case, when there is one entitled to a prescribed share. Entitled to a prescribed share. Like, for example, the daughter, right? Like the wife and the like the husband, because those are entitled to a prescribed share beside the deceased paternal grandfather, means other than the paternal grandfather and the sibling beside them. There are 7 cases for paternal grandfather as follows. So he is to get his share through al-muqasama, means division. Muqasama means division. B, he is to get 1/3 of the remainder of the estate. 1/3 of the remainder of the estate after the prescribed shares are distributed. You get it? After those who are entitled to take their share, they take it. Whatever is left, he gets 1/3 of that. And the rest goes to the siblings. You get it? See here, who has more right? Look, we have 3 categories. We have those who have prescribed share, that Allah has given them prescribed share in the Quran. Then we have the paternal grandfather. Then we have the siblings. Okay, now who do we start with? Do we start with the sibling? Do we start with the paternal grandfather? Or do we start with those? Which one we start with?
Grandfather.
No. We don't start with paternal grandfather. We start with those who are entitled for their shares. You understand? Everybody understand? Okay, I'll give you an example. A man dies, he leaves a wife and a daughter, right? He leaves a wife and a daughter, a paternal grandpa, and brothers and sisters. Who goes first?
The daughter and our wife.
Yes, because those are the one Allah has given them specific share in the Quran. So we start with them first. They get their share. Whatever is left, then it's between the grandfather and the sibling. Who has more right? The grandpa or the siblings?
Grandpa.
The grandpa has more right. You see, that's why he gets more. If you notice, if there are less heirs, less brothers and sisters, he gets more. If there are more, he gets his prescribed share, 1/3. Is that clear now? طيب. Because once you understand the guidelines, it becomes easy. It becomes very easy. طيب. The Shaykh, he said, C, he gets 1/6 of the estate. Okay. When does he get 1/6 of the estate?
When there is a son.
When they are, yes.
In the case you mentioned, there's
Yes.
a daughter, so he's going to get 1/6.
If there is a daughter and there are siblings with him,
Okay.
and 1/3 is better for him, then he goes with 1/3 because he's going to have half left. She's going to take half. There is 1/2 left. So which one is better for him? To divide it or to get 1/3? Which one is better? 1/3. Okay. D, when he shared through the muqasama division, is equal to 1/3 of the remainder. Okay? Is equal to 1/3. E, when he shared through the division, is equal to 1/6 of the estate. When he's prescribed, when he's prescribed 1/6 of the estate, is equal to 1/3 of the remainder. طيب. And G, when he shared through al-muqasama, is equal to 1/6 of the estate, as well as 1/3 of the remainder. So it depends on the scenario, it depends on the situation. طيب. To tackle these cases in detail, they are as follows. The paternal grandfather is to get his share through al-muqasama division when his share through al-muqasama is more than 1/3 of the remainder of the estate, after the prescribed shares are distributed, as well as 1/6 of the estate. An example of this case is when the deceased has left a husband, means that the wife died, means she left a husband, a paternal grandfather, and one brother. So she left husband. How much does the husband get? He gets half. Husband always gets half if there are no kids, and he gets 1/4 if there are kids. A paternal grandfather and one brother. That is, when the prescribed share amounts to half the estate that goes to the husband, and the sibling share is less than double. The paternal grandfather's share, in this case, the paternal grandfather is to get his share through al-muqasama, is the remainder of the estate, is 1/2 after giving 1/2 to the husband. This remaining half is to be equally divided between the paternal grandfather and the brother. You get it? No doubt that 1/4 of the estate is more than either 1/3 of the remainder or 1/6. You see it? So here it's better for him to divide it, because if he divides, he's going to get what? 1/4. If he does not divide, he's going to get either 1/3 or 1/6. Which one is better? 1/4 or 1/3? No, 1/4. 1/4 is more. Huh?
1/3.
No, 1/4. Because what's going to happen here, okay, the man dies, the woman dies. She leaves, you understand? Probably you were not paying attention to what we were saying. So, okay, now the woman dies. She leaves a husband, right? She leaves a grandpa, paternal grandpa, and a brother. Okay, divide it to us. No, start with the husband first.
Husband 1/2.
Yeah, he gets 1/2. How much is left?
Half.
Okay, is it better for the grandpa to get 1/3 or 1/6, or to get half of that half? That's what the sheikh is saying.
It's better for him to get half than his prescribed share.
That's exactly what he's saying.
So he's going to share with.
You get it?
the sibling.
I will repeat.
Ask later.
I'm going to repeat now what the sheikh said. He said, no doubt that 1/4 of the estate is more than either 1/3 of the remainder or 1/6 of the estate.
Oh, 1/3 of the remainder.
Remainder.
Okay, that's good.
Because why would it be the estate? Because we have the husband. The husband took half. So the remainder, right?